This genuinely sounds so good. Intelligence is rate of learning, and learning is same condition, new behavior. How many times do you need to be exposed to the same condition to change your behavior? I've been marinating in this truth for a few weeks and I talked to a few people about it. It made so much sense in my head from so many different perspectives, so let me just jump into examples. The reason why we don't have sovereignty over our minds is because we're exposed to so much information. Our ego is like, yeah, that's deep. I get it. I understand it. Even when you don't understand it, you're like, that's deep. You're able to judge the wisdom. You're like, that's quite wise. But what intelligence actually is still being in the same condition. And it can be a very broad concept that I could explain on an example of someone's business and their life. And let's just remember how we have arguments with, discussions, calm, logical, rational conversations with people with whom we disagree. And me personally, I love having conversations if they're calm and if they're open-minded, if they're intelligent. I genuinely want to learn in every conversation. I'm not trying to win any conversation. I just want to understand if maybe what I believe in isn't fully what I believe in. Like, I want to make sure that what I feel in my heart when I state something is 100% real and true, that I feel peace with what I bring to the conversation. So that's why I ask questions. And even when I state something that I, believe in, I'm like, okay, but explain to me why you disagree. And I'm going to listen. Maybe you're right. Maybe what you say is going to click more within my heart than what I believe in. We are all smart. We are all exposed to the same amount of wisdom. Every person can read a smart book and be like, that's a smart book. It means that there's something smart in you that realizes that this book is smart. But whether or not you choose to act on it is what makes you intelligent. You're in the same condition, being exposed to the same wisdom, but your behavior is different, and that makes you intelligent. No, you know what? Let me change that. Hormozy said it. That's actually the equation that I'm using on different examples right now. You know how in maths, you understand a concept and you use that frame on every example to exercise your skill of understanding this process? He said, learning is same condition, new behavior, and intelligence is rate of learning. If it's a rate of learning, same condition, new behavior, how many times do you need to be exposed to the same condition to change your behavior, to see a different outcome? It's basically how observant you are and how actionable you are with your observations. That's what intelligence really is. Anyways, let's come back to the example with conversations, debates, and all of that. So when someone isn't open-hearted in a conversation, when internally you can see through their soul and you feel how unsafe they feel with what they're saying. They're hurt by what they're saying. They're not secure in what they're saying. Just by psychoanalyzing their behavior, I feel a little bit psychotic when I do that, but I just can't have a normal conversation. When I talk to someone, I'm like, I see through you. I want to talk to you. I want to have a conversation. And they're just compensating their internal unsafety with just over-exaggerated and super expressive, loud sentences, just to get a point across that's so weak in its essence that it needs to be loud and expressive for it to have any kind of sound and effect in a conversation. And the effect is actually just destruction, just ruining the vibes. The effect is usually I'm out of the room. Like, I'm not trying to do this. I mean, I will be there for you. I will state a few times that I just want to learn with you, not to fight with you. But again, if the condition is the same and the rate of intelligence, the rate of learning and changing the behavior is super low, I'm just out of the room. I'm not trying to be a teacher. I will expose you to the truth a few times. If the rate of learning is too frustrating for my patience, I'll just exit. And that's what I understood about intelligence. The same applies to me. I'm not trying to judge and say that I'm the most intelligent and the most diplomatic in every conversation. Obviously not. Obviously not. I'm super emotional. I'm talking, You don't know how I am in discussions, so don't think that I'm a perfect human being. Definitely not. I'm trying to increase my rate of learning. That's so good. Intelligence is a rate of learning, and learning is same condition, new behavior. I love this. This is so beautiful. So with myself, if I really want to be intelligent, because I know I'm smart, I see a lot of things. I'm very observant. But being observant and actionable with observations and realizations is intelligence. And that's two completely different things. It's more stoic, it's less yapping, and it's more action. And again, I need to highlight this every time now when I talk about discipline, stoicism, and being intelligent. When I say, be disciplined, work hard, I don't mean to break your heart and sacrifice your soul in order to achieve something outside of yourself or some kind of internal success that you put on a pedestal above your purpose of just simply being, experiencing, and being grateful. I just simply mean allow yourself to sit in the silence and observe. And when you don't want to act, force this momentum. Momentum cannot be created out of nowhere. You have to force it. Momentum is like, it's always there. It's like God. Just needs to be witnessed. It just needs to be summoned, It just needs to be prayed to. It's like, yo, momentum. And it's there, because it's always there. So it has to be generated by you. It's not going to come to you. Momentum is like, it's the present moment. You need to notice it for it to exist in your presence. But it always exists in your presence. You're just not in its presence. Does it make sense? So whenever you feel like you observed your behavior, you're like, yo, I fucked up in this situation. I was too hard on myself here. I was too lazy here. I didn't stay consistent in this routine. I overworked myself in this routine. You see your mistakes. You're smart. You're observant. But you still repeat them? That's a very low rate of learning. That's low intelligence. That's smart because you observed it, but that's not intelligent. I talked to a few people about this concept of same condition, new behavior, and changing your pattern despite the condition outside of your control, which means applying the knowledge you received. And, I was planning this video. It's not like I just came up with it, but yesterday I was asked, I'm asked that every day, but I'm so tempted to name drop every single time. But I just had that conversation yesterday, and I'm like, I have notes on this. I can pull it up. If you really want to change something, you would change it. And I talked about this in one of the videos about discipline. If you truly want to change it, it means that it hurt you enough for you to really do it. The truth marinated so deeply in your heart. The pain was so unbearable that you will never come back to the old pattern. And if it didn't hurt you enough, you will come back to the old pattern. And that's just the reality of it. That's the nature of it. The pain needs to be so insufferable. It's not just stupid to come back to it, because coming back to any old pattern is stupid. It would just mean slowly killing yourself. It would just mean simply not having brain cells. It's not just stupid to come back to the old pattern. If it really hurt you enough, you can't come back to it. The price of your attention being in focusing on using the knowledge isn't as high as the joy of being in ignorance for a little longer. So the vision of you getting where you want to be, or having more enjoyable experiences with this new wisdom being in action, isn't as appealing to you as staying comfortable using your old pattern because you know it already. Like, it doesn't hurt you as much as it could. So it will hurt you even more until you realize that it is not worth it. And that vision is better. Until you fully digest this truth, you'll stay in the pain for a little longer. It has to hurt you enough for you to shift. But the thing is, what intelligence actually is you don't have to suffer to the point where you can't take it anymore. So you have to go to this new level of, okay, let me actually observe the wisdom and use it in action. Intelligence is noticing it and being disciplined enough to not wait for the suffering to be unbearable and just go and use it. And that's how you elevate faster. Intelligence is rate of learning, rate of changing your behavior in the same conditions. Even me trying to not think as deeply right now is me noticing a pattern that slows me down and being being intelligent about it. Because I've been noticing that it slows me down for years. Like, I know it. I do complicate things. But me now structuring my sentences in an easier way without maybe wanting to sound smarter, but just spilling the truth without extensive wording is a lot more effective, and it is what actually intelligence is. Same condition, new behavior. I saw it, I'm changing it, you know? Or even being afraid of my depth. That's actually a new video. Being afraid of your depth is actually a beautiful thing, but a scary thing. It's an irrational fear of God. So it's a good thing, but can turn into a bad. Different video.